So despite what you're hearing, the yard sale treasure map is not completely dead in the water. There are a few options that you can use besides that app. Plus, I'm also going to discuss how the app is still operational. All right, guys, we're going to talk today about the apps that you're hearing about through other YouTubers and probably in the industry while you're out thrifting. Maybe they've talked about how it was harder to find certain estate sales before. They didn't have any problems because there was the yard sale treasure map that would do everything for them. Fortunately, there are some other options that I'm going to be discussing that'll help you on your search. Plus, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to bypass using the treasure map and getting the same results. So when you go out on the weekends, you know what to do the night before, etc., etc. But before I get started, I also wanted to mention that I did get from a YouTube friend, we kind of did a trade of sorts, I want to say it, or a barter, given my name, Barter Mania, right? From my good friends, and I hope I'm not butchering your name, Nessa and Shane, and they're over at Flipping Funky, and they're brand new to the YouTube community. They kind of remind me, if you're familiar with a thrift mine, a younger, high energy couple that has fun going out, searching, and they got some really good things that they're finding. So those of y'all that have not heard of Flipping Funky, I'm going to put a picture of them. And then go ahead and go check them out. I think you'll find them pretty not only interesting to watch, but high energy, and it keeps your attention, and it's fun. It's overall a good time. So they sent me this box, and I kind of already know what it is because we kind of traded some t-shirts that we're going to wear out and about while we thrift. Let's see what we got here. All right, right away. These are some cool stickers. I don't know who was in charge, but look at that sticker. And then this looks like a die cut sticker. All right. And then, there we go. Hopefully I'm catching it. Flipping Funky. Totally cool. And then, oh wow, it's on the back too. There's a back hit. So they've got front and back on this t-shirt. That is very cool, guys. I'm going to be wearing this out and about. In fact, through the magic of editing, why don't I swap my Kevin at Commonwealth's pick shirt and do the rest of my video in this. Boom. All right, guys, so here we go. Shirt fits pretty good. It's comfortable. I think it's a cotton blend. I'll stretch it out a little bit. But yeah, go check out their channel. It's really fun. I think you'll like it. So let's get to what you're here for, is to check out and find out what's going on with all these apps, what's been changing, how the hell am I going to find the estate sales, etc., etc. So first, let me talk about the treasure map itself. All right, so what had happened is the relationship between the app, Yard Sale Treasure Map, and whoever the creators and back-end people are that work with that app, their partnership or their affiliation with Craigslist. So apparently, I'm going to find out. I have my ways of finding out based upon my past dealings with Craigslist. And for those of you that don't know, or maybe you're new to the channel, I'm based out of the Houston, NASA, Clear Lake area, and I've been a reseller since like 2005. Fox News did a story about me, and they were looking at me through what I was doing at Craigslist at the time, and when I was living in Utah, of all places. I was working my regular 9 to 5, had a pretty good job, but I did this on the side as far as the Craigslisting and bartering, selling, etc. So it was fun to me, and it still is fun to me. That's what keeps me going. And in fact, I tell anybody, if you're not having fun at this and it doesn't keep you waking up in the morning to, try to find the next scavenger hunt deal and beat everybody else to it so you can make money, and, it's not something that maybe you should consider keeping to do. Like, find something else that makes you happier. But I'll get off my tangent. So anyhow, I have that relationship with the founder of Craigslist because I helped him get on Fox News, and so I feel like I'm gonna send him like an email or contact him because I know he'll reply and find out what exactly is going on with the treasure map, and if it's something that's going to be reconciled or if that's something that the relationship is done, signed, sealed, delivered, whatever. So I'm going to find out, and I'm going to do follow-up, and you'll hear it. I'll put a nice thumbnail together or something to give you an update. But anyhow, so the treasure map is no longer propagating and getting its data from the Craigslist postings that people create for their garage sales. Does that mean that the treasure map is dead? No. The treasure map is still there. If you were to try to operate the treasure map, you will still see that there will be postings for sales on the weekend. But where are they getting that data from? They're no longer getting that data from people that post on Craigslist. They're now acquiring the data for their sales that they're posting on their apps because people now have to input that data into their app instead of going to Craigslist and doing it there. They have to be tech savvy enough to physically go onto the Treasure Map app and input the fact that they're having a sale and then do all of that. So will that hurt the app? By all means, because you got a lot of people that, for one, don't even know how to put an app on their phone. They're still, want to get on the computer and type up everything there, and they know of Craigslist because it's been around for so long. They don't know necessarily the treasure map or that app or have ever heard of it. So you're going to lose, and there's going to be a drop-off substantially because people, always for the past 10, 15 years have been using Craigslist to post their estate sales or garage sales. So with that being said, now, there is going to be a drop off, but the app is not dead. You're still going to be able to find sales. It's just now you're relying on people that know how to input their data and create the sale information onto the physical app itself without trying to put it on Craigslist. Secondly, there is a handful of applications that I would recommend, and I'll put some screenshots as I discuss on how to do all of this, that you can use to find sales in your area besides the treasure map. And the next one that I want to say is it's called G-Sailor, and it's an application that you can put on your phone, and it does propagate data from various sources. And I don't believe that they use Craigslist necessarily, but they do use other platforms to propagate their data. But they are also one that you can use. It's kind of like the treasure map. You download the app, you put it on your phone, you click on it, and then you do all the filters for the days, and it'll find it for you. I'll show that to you on the screen and give you a screenshot so you can know what the app looks like on the icon. The next thing that I do is on locally, wherever you might live, it's called Nextdoor. And what that is like a local, your neighborhood and surrounding maybe 10 miles, you would basically create a login and input your data and create a profile, but people will announce and put their garage sales on Nextdoor. And the good thing about that is, it's all local, and a lot of times you're not going to have as many eyeballs necessarily see that versus other platforms. So if that's all they use to post their garage sale, then good news for you is that you're going to be one of the first ones to go there and, cherry pick all the good stuff in the morning time, because Nextdoor is not as popular as the other platforms. But that's not to say that some people don't use that only. So that's one that you might want to check out. The next one that I want to say is everybody knows about Facebook. Okay, Facebook Marketplace is great for selling big, bulky, breakable items, things you don't want to ship or try to box, etc. But there's also the capability of finding your next estate sale or garage sale to go to, because usually in all areas nationwide, there are groups locally that you can join, and it's strictly for reselling garage sale type items and events. And I will show a screenshot of that. I'm attached to my local community where they do post of, local garage sales, church sales, those type of things. So Facebook, look up the groups in your area, join those groups, and you will see the postings each weekend, or usually they're on Thursday and Friday announcing when they're having their sales. And with all the upcoming, April coming up, spring cleaning, you're gonna see that there's gonna be an influx of a lot of garage sales going on. I already mentioned briefly in my previous video, but OfferUp is another local app that you can put on your phone or just look on your computer. It's still pretty popular, and if you just type in garage sale in your search and then filter it by like 15 miles, 10 miles, whatever you want to do, and it'll show you everybody's listings that had a garage sale or is having a garage sale within that radius. And so you can kind of cherry pick. If you see anything that's described there that you might want to go check out, then by all means either print it, take a screenshot of the address, put it on your agenda for the upcoming weekend sales. Finally, with all the fallout in the relationship between the treasure map and Craigslist, let's not forget about Craigslist. People can still go on Craigslist and put on their sales for the weekend. That's how Treasure Map was getting all of their information. Well, guess what? Craigslist didn't die. They just dissolved a relationship for whatever reason. So people are still putting their estate sales and garage sales onto Craigslist platform. So all you have to do is go onto Craigslist, go down to garage sales, click on garage sales, and then filter it by 15 miles from your zip code, click enter. It'll all line up on all the sales that are listed for garage sales in your area within that mile radius that you put on a filter. So those are all methods that I would recommend for you to, try remedying the situation instead of just going to one. And you know what? It's kind of a good thing, because you want to learn other methods of sourcing and finding sales besides just relying on one app. And think about it. You have all these different pickers living in one area, and I don't care where you live, there is going to be competition wherever you might live that does the same exact thing that you're doing. You're trying to find good deals. Well, guess what? They're trying to find a good deal, and they're trying to wake up earlier to beat you at that good deal. So having more ammo at your disposal is always a good thing to have, because this is kind of a wake-up call. You got to learn, to dodge and weave. Everything's always changing. That's something that is reliable in this world that we live in. Change is inevitable. So, gosh, look at the change that's happened in the past year with everything that we've dealt with the virus and ice storms and whatever. So it's all about dealing with life changes and learning as we go, and doing the best as we can. And those are all the apps and the methods of sourcing that I would try to incorporate with my knowledge base on finding where the sales are at. And I guess the last thing that I want to mention is the best sales that I've ever had that I've gone to, and I think a lot of YouTubers that I know would agree with me, and just trial and error over the years, is ignore sometimes everything that I just said and get a full tank of gas, go early in the morning, go to a nicer area of town that has some pretty nice houses, and freestyle. That means don't rely on anything that I just told you. Just drive around and look for those little mom and pop Home Depot signs that are orange and black, and just say garage sale with an address and an arrow. Because think about it, people that don't know how to use computers, smartphones or whatever, they're old school. They still use newspapers and everything else. So those are the ones that you can find not only vintage items, you can find old items that they don't know what's going on and what it's worth. And you're gonna find the items before other people because they're driving around using the stuff that I just mentioned instead of freestyling, and those addresses didn't pop up on any of those platforms that I just mentioned. So, I hope that you got some input, maybe got a couple other tidbits. You probably knew some of this, but probably not all of it. So you walk away, like always in all of my videos, I'm trying to provide viewers with not only BOLO items, but items to keep in the database. So when you're out searching, you know what to do if things come awry, such as the yard sale treasure map, changing how you currently were operating. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. As always, please hit the like button. It really helps this channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It's fun. I promise to be educational. I promise to provide some data, BOLO items and tidbits that I think that y'all should know for y'all searches out there. And also, thanks again to Flipping Funky, the shirt. Hopefully it brings me good luck during my searches out there. And until next time, see y'all later. Peace.